Hello, this is my long-term teepee debris hut that I built about 6 months ago, and it's holding up quite well. I've tested it in the rain, I've tested it in the snow, I've tested it in windy conditions, and I have to say that I'm pretty happy about the outcome of this shelter because I believe that you could survive long-term in this. It's my favorite shelter that I've built so far. Let me tell you how I made it. First, I found a live tree that had a lead that was going at a perfect angle where I could then start crisscrossing branches back and forth just like you would a teepee, right? And so it took a little time, but after completing that, I then grabbed pine boughs and I started putting a layer of pine boughs around the shelter. And the reason I did that is because step 3 is you're going to take as much debris as possible, leaves and dirt, and pile it up, pile after pile. And when you put those leaves on, those pine boughs are going to help for the leaves to not fall through. So after that time-consuming part, I would probably say it is the most time-consuming part, is the gathering of the debris, because you really need a good thick layer for this to work. So once you complete that and you have the debris all around the whole shelter going from bottom to the top, you're going to go, another time-consuming thing, but it's worth it, is you're going to go find bark, shingles, as many as possible. And you're going to start from the bottom up and layer it around the whole shelter, and it acts just like normal shingles on a roof. The water's going to drain properly away from the shelter. And like I said, I've tested it in the rain, and it definitely works. I also used moss. It's a decent insulator. It's not the best thing to use, but I used it to fill in cracks, and it'll definitely keep in the warmth. Then comes the door. Not that difficult. I took 2 similar sized branches, laid them parallel to each other, and then took more branches that were similar length and just, there we go. I took these and just started tying them along all the way to the bottom, and then took fern, as you see, because I just knocked it down like a cinnamon. I took fern and just started packing it in. And for the summertime, a summer like we're having up here in the Northeast, which is one of the hottest summers I can remember, this would definitely work well as a shelter door. If it was the winter time, you would want to think about a different type of insulator so you can trap more of the heat. Also, something about this shelter that you can't see from out here is that it does have a ventilation shaft, so you would be able to build a Dakota fire pit inside of the shelter if you needed, and you wouldn't get smoke inhalation. So that right here is a long-term teepee debris hut. It was so exciting to make. It took a lot of patience and a lot of time. And again, you would only want to have this shelter if you had more than one person, or if you were going to be here for a long time, surviving for a long while, because this takes a while to make. So subscribe to the Survival YouTube page.